Hello, everyone. This is Pastor Matt again, and we are going to look at episode 5 of season 1 of The Chosen. And I believe this episode is called The Wedding Gift. So let's dive right in. Here we go.
Please, have you seen...
Why are you alone, woman?
My son, he's only 12.
Kids all over. It's Jerusalem. You from here?
No, we came for the Passover feast. We thought he was in the caravan.
The feast was 3 days ago.
Jesus! Jesus!
Mary.
Ima? We looked everywhere, day and night. We were so scared.
I told him, he's okay.
Why is everyone so upset?
Mary, he was in
You were
the...
supposed to be riding in the caravan with Uncle Abita.
I was supposed to be with my father.
Then why weren't you?
I was.
You were in the temple?
It was incredible, Mary. You should have seen him. He was teaching when I found him. The rabbis, the scribes, the scholars, they could not believe their ears. They barely let us leave.
Didn't you know I must be in my father's house?
It is too early for all this.
If not now, when?
Just help us get through all of this with you. Please.
Maybe we should get going before they make a formal inquiry. Jesus, please don't do that again, huh?
Yes, Abba. May I read?
We'll see. Come now, we've got a long journey. What are you going to do for your mother for this transgression, huh? I'm going to make him rub your feet.
Abba!
So, just quickly, I wanted to make sure that I got my dates correct, so I've consulted Rabbi Google here. But this is huge. When I first saw this episode and the Jesus character says, if not now, when? This is just a line that is going to have a callback if you don't know Judaism. If you know Judaism, then this is a very special phrase. So there are books behind me on the shelves, and the books that you see behind me are religious books. They're Jewish books. Some of them are commentaries. On the wooden shelf behind me, up there, that is what's known as the Mishnah. That happens to be a set of the Mishnah elucidated. So let me give you a short lesson on Jewish law and tradition. So the foundation of Judaism is the Bible, and the foundation of the Bible is the Torah, the first 5 books of the Bible, Genesis through Deuteronomy. It is the foundation on which everything else in the Bible is stacked, if you will. Without that foundation, everything else comes crashing down. So it is important for us to remember, because if you come from a Christian background, it's important for you to remember that Christianity comes out of Judaism. Christianity originally is a sect of Judaism. Or at least, I mean, that's how I would put it to a Christian, but let me say it like this. Before Christianity, before following Jesus of Nazareth was a separate religion, there were just Jews that believed that Jesus of Nazareth was the Messiah. And so there was a very active faith that was just part of the Judaisms of that day, that they were followers of this rabbi from Nazareth, but they were Jews. All of the first believers in Jesus were Jews. And as we've said before, I feel like I say this every week, but just in case there's anyone who's a new viewer to us, they would not have called him Jesus in that day. That wasn't the name that he was given. He had a Hebrew name, which is Yeshua, which comes over into Greek as Jesus and then into English as Jesus. Now, because The Chosen is a Christian show, and because most of my viewers that are watching this particular commentary are Christians, I will refer to him as Jesus. He knows who we're talking about. Sometimes I don't know if I should open a can of worms or not, but I just will. So all of the Bible needs to be looked at through the lens of the Torah, through the Pentateuch, the lens of Genesis through Deuteronomy. All the rest of the Bible has to be looked through that lens. So you cannot look at the Torah, the first 5 books, through the lens of the New Testament. It's backward. You have to look at the New Testament through the lens of the Torah. Now, in Judaism, again, the Torah is the foundation on the rest of Scripture. There is a commentary on the Torah called the Mishnah. And that's what's up on this side. These blue books are right there. Now, the Mishnah has a commentary on it that is called the Talmud or the Gemara. So you have the Torah. The commentary on the Torah is called the Mishnah. The commentary on the Mishnah is called the Gemara or the Talmud. And so the Talmud is a voluminous collection of tradition, case law, argument, stories. It's an amazing work. In one particular edition that's very popular that you can buy today, it comes in 73 volumes. It's a ridiculous amount of it. It's a repository of every way to understand anything about Judaism. And it's fascinating. I think I'm working on getting all of the volumes of the Babylonian Talmud. There are 2 Talmuds. Anyway, the Talmud Bavli, or the Babylonian Talmud, I am very slowly but surely working through. I think I have 20 volumes or around there right now, and I'm working to get all of them slowly but surely. Every other month, I buy another volume. So there is a section of the Mishnah, which is a commentary on the Torah, called Pirkei Avot, or a parak is like a chapter. So Pirkei Avot is like the sayings of the fathers. It's often called ethics of the fathers. And in Pirkei Avot, there is a statement made by a very famous rabbi named Hillel. Now, Hillel is the grandfather, correct me if I'm wrong, grandfather of Rabban Gamliel the Elder, which is the teacher of the Apostle Paul. Gamaliel is how we pronounce it in English, in Christianity. So Rabbi Hillel has a very important statement that is mentioned in Pirkei Avot 1:14, and it says this: "If I am not for myself, who is for me? When I am for myself, what am I? And finally, if not now, when?" So all that to say, whenever in this particular show something is thrown out there for us as just a line that, if you're not Jewish or don't know about Jewish things, it will just go by you as a really good line. If not now, when? As I said, there'll be a callback to this line later. But when you see that and you know something about Judaism, it just warms your heart that they are honoring this. Rabbi Hillel, that said this, he was from around the time, generation or two before the time of the New Testament. Just so that, again, I am not off on my dates. He's born in 110 BC. He dies in 10 BC. So he died sort of just before Jesus is born. So his words are going to ring very loudly and very truly in the Jews of that day, because Rabbi Hillel was hugely popular. And in season 2, you're going to learn about kind of an opponent, if you will, of Rabbi Hillel, which is Rabbi Shammai, and the two schools of thought of Judaism. That's going to play a lot into season 2. So anyway, if not now, when? This is very Jewish. It's famous words from Rabbi Hillel, and let's move on. And just because I've taken so much of your time doing this, I haven't done this yet, but I'm going to skip past the beautiful Walk on the Water song just for reasons of time. So many people ask, sorry. So many people ask, so you'll see this thing right here. This is a mezuzah. Now, the word mezuzah just means a door frame, a doorpost. But this particular thing that's on this doorpost is referred to as a mezuzah. Now, you'll notice that as you're looking into the house, it's on the right side at about eye level, and it is leaning toward the inside of the house. This is a commandment that is given in the Torah to write scripture on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. It's interesting, in the church world, we know very well that passage in Deuteronomy chapter 6 about love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your might. But we also forget the next part of that, which says, and these words that I'm giving you today shall be upon your heart, and you shall teach them diligently to your children, and talk of them when you sit in your house, when you walk by the way, when you lie down, and when you retire, or when you retire and when you lie down. And they shall be a sign upon your hand, and shall be frontlets between your eyes, and you shall write them on the doorposts of your house and upon your gates. This is a section of a larger thing that is said in the synagogue. It's known as the ve'ahavta, which means "and you shall love." Said every week in the synagogue, the Shema and the ve'ahavta, and actually, daily. But to write the words of the Bible on your doorpost is taken very literally in Judaism. And for it to be bound as a sign upon your hand and frontlets between your eyes is taken very literally. And I'll go into more of that later, but a lot of people have asked me, and I've seen on the Chosen fan page, for instance, on Facebook, what is this? And you'll see people touch it and kiss their hand. And why is that? These are on nearly every door frame in my house and in my recording studio, and it's still something that is done today. So inside of that little thing is a scroll of scripture that is this this particular scripture that you're supposed to do this. Put the word of God on the doorposts of your heart. I mean, the doorposts of your house, and they shall be upon your heart. Continue.
Don't hear.
Dinah!
Mary?
What are you doing here? I heard someone was celebrating a marriage.
I mean, so early.
I came here to help.
All the way from Nazareth? You must have been riding in the dark.
When your best friend is the mother of the groom, you'll be early for the feast too. Now come on, give me a broom or something.
Okay, come on.
Miracles.
Yes, John. Signs and wonders.
From who?
You.
Are you adding those to my list of infractions? Only a Pharisee. You would have labeled Moses a lunatic for talking to a shrub.
Do you consider yourself to be like Moses? Tell me about your ministry.
Do you remember when Caesar traveled through Judea?
Yes.
He sent all these men to clear logs and debris for the coming king. Make straight the way for the king, they'd shout. Prepare the way.
The roads in Jerusalem do not have the same problem, but I remember the visit.
I had to move. Romans aren't kind to the homeless. Lost all my possessions.
Many in Jerusalem were frightened as well.
Oh, they were lucky to have you to comfort them. For a price, of course.
Should we be clearing the road for you, John? Is that the point of this story?
I don't like your frock. The cost of the vestments alone could feed 3 children in Nazareth for a month.
Do you hail from Nazareth?
And Jericho, and Bethlehem, Jaffa, Hebron.
I see. Well, you have a new home now. Whatever your mission was, I hope you completed it.
Thought you were here to ask about miracles.
But first, I wanted to tell you of a miracle that I've seen, but cannot comprehend.
And then to make accusations.
This is pointless. Clearly, you are not a frothing madman, but every bit as unreasonable.
You imprison me and accuse me of being ill-tempered.
I am
about it.
not your captor. Do you not understand? This is a Roman cell. I came here to speak to the warden on your behalf.
On my behalf. Why are you really here, old man?
The official reason? You are a Jewish citizen. If you have broken Jewish law, it sets a dangerous precedent to allow Rome to adjudicate.
And the real reason?
I love Nicodemus.
The truth? I am far from home. I am looking in places I would never go because I am searching for an explanation for something I cannot unsee.
No one else knows you're here. Tell me from the beginning.
Oh, I love this part. Okay, so why do you crush grapes with your feet? Well, the same reason that you crush grapes with your feet to this day. And I mean with bare feet. The flesh of your foot is soft. And so when you crush a grape with your foot, not wearing any kind of shoe or sandal, your foot does not crush the seed of the grape, which would make the juice of that grape and then the wine later bitter. So you crush it with the flesh of your foot and it doesn't crush the seed. Ah. Okay, let's back up. We're crushing grapes. And here, my friends, is where Pastor Matt gets very excited. And that is, there are now tzitziot. There are now tassels, fringes on Simon's clothes. It's never mentioned in The Chosen. Never. At least not yet. And we're all the way through season 2. It just happens. When these Jews that are not overtly religious start following Jesus, they get religious. Now, so that you don't understand me, religion and the word religious are not bad words in Judaism. They're very good words. We go off on a slight tangent as if I already haven't already, but so many people in Christianity will say what are probably well-intentioned but unfortunately sort of cutesy bumper sticker phrases like, it's not about religion, it's about a relationship. Although that is technically true, to dismiss the idea of religion, that there are certain things that we do in a certain way for certain reasons, to just whole cloth dismiss that because we have a feeling that it's somehow rigid or constricting or whatever, is absurd. And let me tell you why it's absurd. You cannot have religion with no relationship with God, but the same is true in the opposite direction. You cannot have a relationship with God without religion. And here's what I mean by that. There are certain things that I should just do as a husband because I'm a husband, and it's just the right thing to do. Whether or not I'm feeling it or not, that's immaterial. There are things that I must do as a husband because of my relationship with my wife. I do those things even if I don't feel like doing it because it's my duty, it's my responsibility. Same with my children. The same with my job. You cannot say, well, I do my job and I do a good job for my boss because of my relationship with my boss. Maybe to an extent, yes, but you really do it because you have a job to do. It is routine. You have a job description. There are things that you're supposed to do, and that is religion. Religion without relationship is dry, but relationship without religion in the context of God and the context of faith, relationship without religion is, I'll just say it, we as modern human beings stink at relationships. We do. Look at the divorce rate. Look at friendships that split up. Look at businesses that split. Look at congregations that split. Relationships are not our forte. It is the religion part of our expression of faith that has us pray when we don't feel like it and give when we think someone doesn't deserve it. And all of those things. Religion is what makes us do the right thing when we're not feeling it in the moment, because it's what we're supposed to do. And so this watered down version of faith where there's no religion and it's all relationship is a farce. And this is coming from someone who is a pastor and is the son of a pastor and the nephew of a pastor and the brother of a pastor and the grandson of a pastor and great-grandson of a pastor. I am in a ministry family. I know what it's like to have to do ministry when you're not feeling it. And it is religion that has saved my relationship with God. What I mean by that is, and this is why I am so drawn to Judaism, and it is why I identify in my own faith journey as someone that practices Messianic Judaism because of the religious element of it, because of the guardrails and stipulations and expectations that keep me accountable and keep me in line. Modern American Western Christianity is a little too loosey-goosey for me. I need these safeguards. I need these boundaries, and I want them. I long for them. I find them very beautiful. So in Judaism, when you use the term religious, it has to do with how observant you are. It has nothing to do with whether you believe in God or not. If you talk to a Jew, especially an Israeli Jew, and you ask them, are you religious? It usually has to do with outward expression and practice. Do you wear tassels on your garment like this? Do you cover your head? Do you keep kosher? Do you go to synagogue on Shabbat? Do you do these things? It has very little to do with what you believe in your head. It is what you do. We're the exact opposite in Christianity in America. We've made it all about what we believe and not what we do. And that lack of foundation and that shallow faith is what makes people every day turn their back on their faith. It's what makes high-profile preachers and worship leaders and whatever just abandon their faith because it was all about relationship and they're not feeling it anymore. There's some things that you just do because it's right. And that is something that Judaism does very well. Now, in Christianity, there are segments of the Christian population that do religious things very well. It's just that most of us that come from Protestant Christianity don't like religion. And so we will, rebel against or talk badly about our brothers and sisters that do a little more of a liturgical expression of Christianity because it seems dry to us. But that's not what it's all about. It's not dry. Those practices and those things and saying those particular prayers in the same way every day doesn't get old if you have a relationship with God. So all that to say, when I say that now Simon has become religious, a Jew understands what I mean when I say that, especially someone in Israel. What we mean is now he is having an outward expression of his Jewishness, of his following of Torah. In Numbers chapter 15, men of Israel are commanded to wear fringes, tassels, on the corners of their garment. And here he's doing it. Why? Because he's just started following the Messiah. And following the Messiah has made him more observant of the Torah, not less. Following the Messiah has made him embrace his Jewishness even more, not less. And that is what, if I wanted to say it like this, and I'm not trying to sound sacrilegious or trite or flippant or anything like that, but I think I could say that practicing Messianic Judaism has made me a better Christian. I think that is the best way to say it in a way that a Christian could understand. My relationship with the Messiah is deeper and more personal and more intimate and more committed because of my embracing of religious things, of Jewish things. So I say a giant bravo to the writers of The Chosen who have chosen to prove that Simon, that his life is different. And you'll see the other men, once they start following Jesus, you'll see tassels on their robes, because that's what it's all about. Jesus calls people to a deeper commitment to Torah. For these Jews, meeting Jesus makes them better Jews. And that's what it does today too. I am not interested in seeing Jewish people become Christians. I'm not. And I'm public about that. If you're a Jew, I don't want you to change your religion. I want you to get Jesus. I want you to embrace Yeshua the Messiah. I don't want you to become a Christian. I want you to be a Jew. I want you to be a good Jew. I want you to be a better Jew, because now you have found the Messiah. I want you to keep doing what you're doing, but add him to the last chapter of it, because he's the fulfillment of everything that you've been doing. I don't want Jews to become Christians. If anything, I think Christians need to have a little bit more Jewish flavor in their faith. That's a controversial statement. I don't care. It's just the way that it is. All the first followers of this Messiah were Jews, and he never said anything against the Torah, against any practice that we see in the Old Testament. He didn't talk against any of that. If anything, he called people to a deeper commitment, and if anything, he called out people for acting like they were keeping the Torah but really were not. He railed against hypocrisy, not observance. This is going to be a very long episode. I apologize. Here we go.
Eden, we need to talk.
So I hear.
What have you heard?
Nothing that makes sense. Last night you told me the truth. Let's continue with that.
What a good wife. It's awesome.
So, I worked for hours last night, and I couldn't even catch one fish the entire night. And then Andrew and the boys showed up. Thank you for that, by the way. And none of us could catch one fish the entire night. It was horrible. And this morning we finally gave up and we went to shore, but there was this teacher on shore. And Andrew knew who he was, but I'll talk about that later. He told me to cast one more time, which made no sense, but I did it anyway because of the way he looked at me. And then so many fish showed up. They were pouring into the boat. So many kept coming that Zebedee ended up filling both of our boats, enough to pay off the whole debt.
What?
I know.
So good.
Why don't you seem happy?
Well, this is hard to explain.
More than what you just told me.
You know, it's like the story of Elijah and Elisha.
Yes?
So good. That's how you pronounce Elisha, by the way, is Elisha. That's how you pronounce it. It's very Hebrew. But I also love the fact that when Eden responds, I think she's going to pronounce it Elisha, even though, again, Shahar Isaac, native Israeli, Hebrew speaker, he's going to pronounce it like that.
Elisha was plowing with 12 yoke of oxen when Elijah the prophet just walked up and threw his cloak over him. I called him to follow him.
And without delay, Elisha slaughtered the oxen, burned the plow, and left everything behind.
Yes. The teacher, Andrew told me, but I didn't believe him at first. He's the Messiah. I know it sounds impossible, but I saw it with my own eyes. He made boatfuls of fish appear out of nowhere. And the words he spoke, the one John told Andrew was the Lamb of God who takes away the sin of the world, it was him. And then he called me to follow him. and Andrew, James, and John to go where he goes and to learn from him. And he said that I wouldn't be a fisherman anymore, but that I would catch people instead. I don't even know what that means, but I'm sure what I saw. He's the one we've been waiting for all our lives, and I want to quit fishing and leave the sea behind to go. I know it makes no sense, and I knew it would make you upset. All I can tell you is that this is...
Upset. Oh, why would I be upset? Come here. Come here. Come here. This is the man I married.
And you believe me?
You couldn't make this up. Of course he chose you.
I don't know why he did. I tried to tell him I'm a sinful man.
Everyone is sinful.
I don't know what this means. I don't know yet how I'm going to provide.
I don't care about that.
Then why are you crying?
Because someone finally sees in you what I have always seen. You're more than a fisherman.
You know, I will travel sometimes. I don't want you to feel abandoned.
You have to go with him. How could I feel abandoned? I feel saved.
Eden, it's not gonna be easy.
When have we ever had anything easy? It's not our people's way.
So, are you going to help me?
I actually could watch you do that all day.
Wash your feet.
We leave for Cana today.
What's in Cana?
A wedding?
What does the wedding have to do with the liberation of Israel?
I'm about to find out. Come on. Don't you think our wedding was a kind of liberation?
From your fear that I would be bald.
Oh, my father's nearly blind.
Remember how cold it was?
No.
Remember Andrew's toast?
Remember the rabbi lost his place?
No.
He made everyone stand up and please be seated. Twice in a row, you don't remember?
What I will remember for the rest of my life is lifting your veil. I'd fight tigers for that memory.
You'd fight tigers?
Well, unless it was as cold as our wedding day right before the sun came up and you got tangled in my chuppah.
I do remember.
This is a great new couple of characters.
The lamb will be there before or after we arrive?
After. They don't have a good place to keep it, so I didn't want it there too early.
But are they going to show up?
With plenty of time for you to roast it your way. Yes.
Wait. There's only 3 jars.
Yes. That's what they asked for.
Reima, I am very concerned we won't be able to get all 3 all the way to Cana intact. I told you we needed 4 from your vineyard to be safe.
I told you the wedding family can't afford it.
I would have paid you out of my own pocket.
Thomas, that would almost erase your whole margin. Why would you do that?
I mean, we're a team, right?
Well, I think everything will arrive perfectly intact. Especially with how carefully you drive.
I just want to be certain that
Thomas, that's going to be fine.
There's 2 more in the back. I'll get them.
glad you got some hired help. There's much to do.
Tirza, she's a neighbor. We couldn't afford anyone extra, so she volunteered on her only day off.
And here I was, thinking how lucky you were to have me.
My son just married his love, and I am surrounded by friends. Couldn't be luckier.
What is she like?
Oh, Sarah is lovely and respectful and just wonderful. Her parents, Hela and Abner, are not so convinced.
About Asher?
About Rafi and me as in-laws. The father especially. But he's very successful and influential, so maybe it will be good for the kids' future.
You don't have to grovel to anyone, Dinah. I'll come around.
I should go find Rafi.
I do appreciate it. You heard me tell Eden how grateful I was.
I heard your words, but I also watched your movements.
Oh, 2 men with tzitziot, 2 men with tassels. Love it.
I don't know what to do with it. Don't go on long trips. I hold it like this. If I had a stick, I could sling it over to my shoulder.
We'll see what the others do.
What if they didn't pack lunch? Will we look stupid? What if it comes off as ungrateful?
I don't know. Maybe it would look like we never traveled with the Messiah before and we don't know what we're doing.
I'm a bit nervous.
Come on, don't be nervous. If you're nervous, I'll come on too strong.
Don't tell me you're not nervous.
I said I was.
You said if I'm nervous...
I know what I said. I don't want to let him down.
I don't want to do it wrong.
Come on. We'll probably both do it wrong. It's like fishing. Remember when Dad taught us?
Dad didn't teach us anything. We just sat there.
And watched. And then it was our turn and we made our own mistakes. Can you believe this?
Well, you guys are great.
Hey.
Hello.
Have you been here long?
Oh, yeah. Perfect day for a wedding, huh?
Master.
Simon, Andrew, Mary, James, John, Thaddeus. But where is, Uh-oh. Raining figs.
Figs? For the journey.
Ah, now we won't even need to stop for lunch. Thank you, James.
Yes, master?
Ah, 2 Jameses. How will we solve this dilemma?
Well, what if I go by Big James?
Is that acceptable to you, young James?
Yes, I think that's fair, master.
The sense of justice, too, huh? Then it's settled. Now, to the road, my friends. The bride and groom await.
We've talked about this before, but just a reminder, or if you're new. So in sort of older English translations of the Bible, a lot of times you will read about James the Less. And it's not that he's less important or less whatever, but that it just simply means he's smaller. So little James, short James. And so they have this wonderful convention here in the Chosen of talking about Big James and Little James. And that's why he said, how about I'm Big James? There you go. Also, Big James has so far been played by a total of 3 different actors. So you'll need to keep that in mind as we move forward.
I think it might be a little roomier on this side.
Perfect.
No?
Yeah, no, it's perfect. And sturdy.
Let me speak with the carpenter. I know their language.
It will be okay. Will you help me decorate it?
Dinah, please. Let me do this for you.
Mary, I love you, but Rafi and I got what we paid for. I'm embarrassed how few timbers we could offer.
There's no reason to settle.
Who's settling? It'll be perfect. There are many other things to do today, Mary. You said so yourself.
Always the bright side.
Someone has to be. will you start on gathering more flowers?
Of course.
Shalom, Hila.
Dina.
I'm delighted to share this special day. Is Abner here? I'd love to tell Rafi we have time for a special prayer together.
Abner sent me on ahead. He'll come with friends before the ceremony. He asked me to select his table.
Well, we have arrangements for everyone's seating already.
Abner likes things his way. I'm here to see that they are.
Even at our children's wedding feast?
Dina, Abner is set in his ways. It's not personal.
Well, it should be.
On certain important occasions, I have been able to prevail on him.
I hope this is important enough.
Dina, Sarah is unwavering in her love for your family.
We love Sarah. And all of you. Very much.
Sarah knows you do. The chuppah is crooked.
I know that look.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Simon.
I was thinking, if this wedding is worth a journey for you, who has so much to do, perhaps it is also worth a journey to many wealthy Jews.
You believe important and powerful Hebrews will be there?
Possibly.
Very keen, son. The most important and powerful person I know will be there.
Yeah?
My mother.
Isn't your mother from Nazareth?
You should announce us after the guests, right? There'll be no Romans. Seems like the perfect place to gather more followers, get this whole thing moving.
It's not my special day, Simon. It's the special day of the couple, Asher and Sarah.
They are blessed to have you at their wedding. Do they know what a remarkable thing it is?
Well, considering that I was the clumsy teenager who cracked my head open at Asher's when he was a child, I don't think he finds me remarkable. Did you think much of your childhood friends?
No, he didn't have any.
That's not true.
I stand corrected. He had me. Compulsory service.
I don't remember kids exactly lining up around the block.
Mary, did you think that having brothers would be like this?
I always wanted brothers as a little girl.
So when you have 12, and tell me how you like it.
12?
You'll see. We're getting close now. Cana is just over the next rise.
Well, we had a wedding. It just wasn't like everyone else's.
Why not?
You know why.
I would have gone.
I know. If Joseph were here, he would be so proud of you and Rafi. So happy for you.
You don't think I'm overdoing it?
I would have said so.
It's just that Hila's canopy for their son's feast had exquisite and extravagant...
It doesn't even matter. Sarah and Asher will love it.
Have you heard from your special guest?
He's coming. He may bring several others. Is that okay?
Jesus can bring everybody he wants. I haven't seen him in ages. How is he?
He's good. He's always good.
I'm ecstatic for you. Imagine he's a fine craftsman.
When he's not working, he has a calling. I seldom know where it will take him. He's bringing students.
I bet he's handsome. I bet he is.
Dinah, they're here.
Moment of truth. I made Rafi spend everything we had left for good wine. So wish me luck.
You must be Thomas. I am Rafi. This is my wife, Dinah.
Many blessings to you on this joyous day. And may I present the finest, most beautiful vintner in all of Galilee, Rema Bat Kafni of the Kafni Vineyards on the plains of Sharon.
It is an honor to meet you at last. You will give my regards to the old scoundrel upon your return. Rema is the daughter of my old friend, Kaf.
The wine is here on time. A good start to a joyous day.
Of course. Thomas is never late. My father sends his warmest regards with this. Pressed in the time Augustus died, cut with seawater, honey from Mount Hermon, black pepper, and pine from Tyre.
Divine.
I certainly won't refuse that. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings forth the fruit of the vine.
Just a slight nitpick. I'm so glad that they did this, though, that they say the blessing before drinking wine. But technically, the motzi, who brings forth, is technically the blessing for bread. Technically, the blessing for wine is who creates the fruit of the vine. Borei pri hagafen, or hagefen, depending on what strain of Judaism that you're from. But the word borei it comes from this word that's in the very first verse of the Bible, bara, to create something out of nothing. So anyway, every time before you drink wine or grape juice, you say this blessing.
Oh my. Thank heaven on Archer's day. Abner and Hila will be pleased. Maybe a little jealous even.
Abner and Hila. I am now in debt because of wine for Abner and Hila.
Oh, hush. How much is there?
Of the special vintage, there's 2 amphorae and 1 of a lesser. Of course, we intend to serve the best wine first when the guests are fresh.
Later, when everyone is stuffed and sense is dulled, we'll serve the remaining jar. Do you understand?
Yes, son. It's the oldest trick in the book. We are in good hands.
And I assume the head count is still the same, 40 or so at a time during the week?
Is it?
I'm asking.
I'm sure it's right.
Perfect. Where would you like us to set up?
This way. The master of the banquet will walk you through it.
Knock, knock. Can we come in?
Hi, Eva. Oh, how are you?
I have missed you. Look at you. It's been a while.
I have been. These people have been helping me to
Oh, typical Jewish mother. You have not been eating. You're too skinny. Oh, so good. Love it.
How are you? Do you still?
James.
Multiple demons.
I saw it myself. They jeered at me from inside her mouth. Nothing could be done for her short of a miracle.
And she won't say who restored her.
He did not reveal his name to her. What? What?
It has begun.
What has?
If he's healing in secret now, the public signs cannot be far off.
Public signs? What? You know him?
You can say that.
What's his name?
Who has ascended into heaven and come back down?
I asked his name.
Who has gathered the wind in his fist?
Don't quote Solomon to me, you wild mongrel.
Who has wrapped up the waters in a garment? Finish.
No, you answer me first.
Teacher of Israel. Finish the oracle of Agur, son of Jeke. Who has established all the ends of the earth?
What is his name, and what is the name of his son?
Surely you know.
Surely you know.
You are careless with Torah. God does not have a son except Israel. Israel is his only son. All of us.
Suit yourself.
You know, they'll put a man to death for blasphemy like that.
Who will? You? It'd be a terrible precedent for Rome to adjudicate.
I should never have come here.
All your life you've been asleep. Make straight the way for the king. He is here to awaken the earth. But some will not want to waken. They're in love with the dark. I wonder which one you'll be.
Now, if this man is anything like you believe, or if he exists at all, you should leave this region. Your presence alone puts him in danger.
If you think he needs my help, you've heard nothing.
When the song is over, bring out the olives and the cheeses. Set them on the long table in between the loaves of bread and the cucumbers.
Shall be heard again in cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
This is prophetic. This is from the prophets, this scripture.
shall be heard again in the cities of Judah and in the streets of Jerusalem.
Thomas!
In a moment.
Thomas!
Okay.
Am I going mad, or has 40 been the magic number all along?
The head count? Why? Are we over? They always do this. I brought food enough for more.
The last count was 80.
You made a mistake.
Maybe by a few. Even if I'm off by 5, the wine.
I did advocate for a 4th. But 3 is still enough. Pour 60.
And the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the bride, the voice of joy, and the voice of gladness, the voice of the bridegroom, and the voice of the
Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings forth the fruit of the vine.
Amen. Amen.
Lighten your pores. Like this. 3/4 full. If they ask you for more, tell them you'll be right back. But guess what? You won't be. Understand?
Oh, we have all been here.
Well, the guests seem to be happy so far. The servants do not. How are we doing?
Nothing to worry about. You are one of the finest banquet masters we have ever seen. Keep up the good work. No.
I have an idea. Thank you so much for coming. Oh, thank you.
Duffy! Dinah!
Hello.
Abner.
Well, this is the best party I've been to in a long while. Mwah, mwah, mwah.
You honor us, Abner. We are blessed to have 2 children so in love.
I'm happy too. I'll be honest, I was not always happy about this. You may not have known that.
Yes, we know.
You were born in Nazareth time. Rafi, your people are travelers. And your trade, Rafi, it hasn't brought you much success. And well, Asher seems like a nice young man. He has not
Yes,
yet.
Abner. We get it.
Yeah, I don't mean to insult. My family have been powerful traders in this region for years. I believe success has made my generation arrogant. I lost my train of thought. I thought you said this was crooked. Looks fine to me. And this wine is delicious. I must know the vineyard.
Purification water. There's still some left in these.
Dilute the wine. People will notice. Whispers will spread.
If they did, I feel like this family would die of shame.
What about us? We'd be ruined.
It's not a great option, I agree. So help me think.
We could serve the guests extra date cakes, oversalt the food, make them thirst for water. I don't know. This is humiliating.
Let's keep looking.
They have no idea who sits before them.
To be a child again, yes?
I think we are the lucky ones. They have to go home with their parents tonight. We get to stay with him and his mother.
Where will that be?
Who knows? With him, I have learned to stop worrying about those things.
I haven't. It's cold in this region.
Do you think he would let you freeze?
My brother has many worries. I keep reminding him of when our Abba taught us how to fish. We just sat there and watched until we became fishermen.
We will watch him. And watch and watch and watch. Forever, I think.
I'm going to get more wine.
Get two? I don't even know why I'm here. It's usually the students that choose the rabbi, not the other way around. And I'm not even a student.
Neither was I. Thaddeus introduced me to him.
How did you meet?
On a construction job in Bethsaida. He hasn't exactly been picking the best and brightest students.
But he works?
Well, until recently. He's not a professional rabbi.
Yeah, but I thought he has no home and no job.
No permanent home.
He's a stonemason. Like you.
A craftsman. He taught as well. He asked me to follow him. He said he was building a kingdom. A fortress stronger than stone. I believed him.
What were you building in Bethsaida?
A public amenity.
An aqueduct?
No, something humbler.
What then, man?
It's not proper to say in front of a woman.
I have seen and heard things that would turn your blood to ice.
A latrine? Wait, ice?
Yes.
Our master building a privy.
A job is a job. I was cutting stone for the retaining wall. He was building a ramp of cedar planks so the crippled and the elderly could get to it without climbing the steep steps.
Well, why didn't he heal them so they could mount the steps themselves?
He's always saying his time has not yet come.
Calling your name. The catch of the fish. Why was it his time for miracles then and not others?
Because those were private. He hasn't shown his signs to others publicly yet.
What's keeping him from making his ministry public?
The wind blows to the south or to the east, and you cannot say why.
A latrine. Yeah, we better not spread that around.
He doesn't hide where he's from.
Oh, don't tell Andrew. That will... Yeah, he'll be surprised.
And now, friends, the dance of Miriam.
Thomas? Talk to me.
Just watch out for the frogs this time. Oh, sons of Jonah!
We were just looking for you. Dancing to the song of Miriam, and we thought you wouldn't want to miss it.
Of course. Let's the three of us show them how it's done, huh?
I don't think that's such a good idea.
Why?
Andrew has 4 left feet.
4? Why 4?
When he tries to dance, he looks like a donkey walking on hot coals.
Oh, Andrew, do you deny it?
I've never seen a donkey walking on hot coals. Actually, that would be a terrible thing to behold.
My son.
Ah, Andrew, you see, even my own mother will join us in the Song of Miriam.
They've run out of wine.
But it's only the first day.
Yes.
and it's all gone. Not a drop left.
Why are you telling me this?
We can't let the celebration end like this. And the Etcher's family humiliated.
Boys, go join the others. I'll be right there.
Mother, my time has not yet come.
If not now, when? Please. Do whatever he tells you.
Fill these jars with water. I'm not sure you heard her clearly, but we've run out of wine, not water.
These are similar in size to your amphorae?
The prudent marks, yes. Equally filled all the way to the brim.
You're a very responsible person, aren't you?
We are in a crisis, and I was led to understand you have a solution.
Do you know why jars for purification rites are made of stone?
What?
You heard me.
Because the stone is pure. Less likely to stain or break, and it can't be made unclean.
Yes. Fill these jars with water all the way to the brim.
Why?
You heard him. Start drawing water, quickly. Tell anyone you find to stop what they're doing and help.
From the directions you have provided, I see no logical solution to the problem.
It's going to be like that sometimes, Thomas.
What did you say?
I do not rebuke you. It is good to ask questions, to seek understanding.
There's not time for this.
I know of a man like you in Capernaum, always counting, always measuring.
That's my job. And that people will think I have not done well tonight.
Join me, and I will show you a new way to count and measure, a different way of seeing time.
Go with you where? I don't understand.
Keep watching.
Cana!
Abner, I do hope you're enjoying yourself.
Where are the servers?
I don't know, but I'll go find them right away.
It is far past time for another round of wine. The last one was nearly an hour ago.
Yes, well, you see...
Surely there is more coming, Dinah.
I'm very sorry. Please do not worry. This will be taken care of immediately.
Next round of wine right away. Thank you for reminding us it's all under control.
Was your father a stonemason as well?
Smith. I think it broke his heart, but I apprenticed under a stonecutter when I was 9. Every man must leave his father.
Masonry seems like harder work.
It isn't harder, it's just more final. If the smith wants to change the horseshoe or the plowshare or the pothook, he has only to put the iron back into the fire and reshape it to fit his designs.
They're full.
Everyone, please step outside. Just for a moment, Thomas.
Once you make that first cut into the stone, it can't be undone. It sets in motion a series of choices. What used to be a shapeless block of limestone or granite begins its long journey of transformation. And it will never be the same.
I'm ready, Father.
Go draw some out and serve it to the master of the banquet. I promise you, more wine is coming.
Well, it's about time.
The latter vintage, sir.
Good, good. Let's have a taste. Stop the music! Stop the music! Everyone, listen! I have something I would like to say. I would like to address the bridegroom and the bride families. At every wedding I've ever overseen, they serve the best wine first. And then, when the people have drunk freely, much later in the feast, they serve the poorer wine, the cheap stuff. Because by then, who is going to notice? Am I right? But you have chosen now to serve the best wine I have ever tasted. Let us thank them for this unnecessary but honorable gesture. May the wedding of Asher, son of Rafi and Dinah, to Sarah, daughter of Abner and Hila, be as pure and as fruitful as this wine. Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who brings forth the fruit of the vine. To Asher and Sarah!
To Asher and Sarah!
Is something wrong?
Yes. I was.
Fish, wine. What will be next?
Any suggestions?
Anything and everything. Let's do this. I'll go with you to the ends of the earth.
I hope so, Sam. I seem to remember there was a problem. Something about Andrew's feet.
Andrew's feet.
But first we must evaluate, no?
No, I can't.
I think we have to.
No, I can't.
This is still very common today, especially in Orthodox circles where men are dancing with men and women are dancing with women, and it's very beautiful. In the synagogues that I'm a part of, in the Messianic synagogues, there is a beauty and a joy being a man dancing with the men and seeing the women dance together. It's a wonderful thing.
So you happen? Some things even I cannot do.
I love that line, and there have been many people that have made a lot of noise about that line, the joking of there are some things that even I cannot do. I think it's wonderful. Poor guy is just dumbfounded.
That should be it for the night. Who is he? I can't pretend I didn't see a miracle. He gave us even more than we need.
He invited me to join him. He wants us to meet him in Samaria in 12 days.
Samaria.
I don't know what to think.
So don't. Maybe for once in your life, don't think.
So good. Oh wow! I know it's a very long episode, but not of the chosen of me. But thank you for sticking in there, and we'll see you next time. Thank you so much.